Judge rules that freedom of speech includes right to offend.
Here's a summary of the article.
In a decision handed down last week in the Court of Appeal, Justice Warby and Lord Justice Bean ruled that freedom only to speak inoffensively is not worth having. The appeal ruled in favour of Catherine Scotter, a mother of 2 from Hertfordshire. The case dates back to 2018, when Scotter was arrested for referring to a trans woman, Stephanie Hayden, as a man, a racist, and a pig in the wig online. Hayden reported the comments to the police, who arrested Scotter at her home early 2019. Following the arrest, Scotter was handed a 2-year conditional discharge from police custody and ordered to pay £1,000 in compensation for violating the 2003 Communications Act. Scotter was accused of significant online abuse by deliberately misgendering Hayden and referring to her as he and him. Hayden had alleged that Scotter misgendered her to annoy people like me.
This post received a score of 2,300, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I agree with the decision. Legally, we shouldn't be arresting people for saying offensive things that aren't a threat of a harm. That doesn't mean the woman who brought the case isn't a total bigot, and if I were her company, I'd fire her ass. I wouldn't want a person like that working for me. Freedom of speech doesn't equal freedom from all consequences of that speech.
Exactly. Freedom of speech means freedom to be an asshole. But if you're going to be an asshole, everyone else also has the freedom to call you on it. Facing legal repercussions just for being offensive is some seriously totalitarian bullshit.
Greater than facing legal repercussions just for being offensive is some seriously totalitarian bullshit. Something we see with fucked up things like laws protecting religious feelings, blasphemy laws, and lèse-majesté law, etc. Ultimately, they get used to abuse people in very arbitrary and callous ways, as there is no way to properly quantify what those things mean in a legal sense. They are nothing more than tools to help enable oppression and discrimination.
Free from government censorship and governmental consequences. Not free from being banned from Twitter, shunned by your friends, fired from your work. Well yeah, you can't make it a law that you have to remain friends with someone who's a douchebag lol.
Could you imagine?
I would still have friends.
Good news for the UK. Fuck anyone who thinks freedom of speech should be limited in order to not offend people.
What's the qualifying harassment laws over there? Does this mean a dude can stand on a soapbox in the street and scream racial slurs?
There's still hate speech laws.
This is a victory for free speech and common sense.
It's also a victory for those of us that have no qualms putting a toxic person in their place with a dose of their own poison. How can you even legally define what offends someone to begin with? It seems so tied with personal experience and personal priorities that anything could offend someone. I just live life with the notion that if it's more obscure, society should expect that person to voice if something does offend them, and people can try their best to accommodate that person. Just because some people are allergic to some things doesn't mean we will ban all eateries from serving dishes containing these foods that people might be allergic to, even though in some cases that can even be deadly. So why would anywhere enforce offense laws when words don't even kill people?
Reminder that freedom to offend is not equal to freedom from consequences.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to Speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.